Welcome back to BSing with Why You Go Why. We have returning guest, DuhZeez. So
Hello.
it's been a little while since we come on. I think the last time we had Reggie and Dave. That was a good one. So if you haven't watched that one, go and watch that one on Spotify, Rumble, or YouTube. And restricted. That one got us restricted in Russia. But hey,
Oh, in Russia.
yeah, it said restricted in Russia. So yeah, well, not that I'm hurting or anything, but
You tell them I'm Russian and they'll stop their foolishness.
yeah,
I'm not gonna buy their vodka no more if they don't stop.
yeah, you'll probably have to pay a tariff here soon.
Not to them. Only France. Oh, that means Grey Goose. Shoot, Grey Goose is gonna go up 200%. Better buy it while you can.
We'll just get the American brand. You know what I've noticed is
Tito?
that yeah, what
That
I've
stuff
noticed
like
is
piss.
in if you haven't been like around Walmart or other stores, and no, not sponsored, but if you noticed, a lot of things are starting to say "Made in the USA."
Oh wow, that's weird. All of a sudden, how do
Yeah,
Now, my question is: are they just slapping the label that says that, or is it actually made in?
actually, I bought some. It's like Tupperware, but glass bowls that you put your food in, and it's stamped.
I seen them at Sam's. Yeah.
Made in the USA.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I remember when Sam Walton first brought out Walmart's, his whole thing was everything in that store is made in the U.S. And it pretty much was. And then after he passed, whoever got it, his kids or whatever, when they got in charge, everything was China. Shortly
Yeah.
after.
It was hard to find something made in the U.S.
And if you did, it was sky high.
Well, it's just like. Go ahead.
I was just saying it forced everything that was made in the U.S. to be more expensive, I guess, to compete. I don't know. I don't understand why, like, when everything was made in the U.S., it was pretty much the same prices. And well, I guess it's because the companies that were making the U.S. weren't making as much as the companies that made in China and couldn't beat their prices. But then they jacked the price up so high, they kind of priced themselves out. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that I don't know if you've read lately, but I think Trump put a 25% tariff tax on, was it steel and aluminum?
it was minerals, basically.
Here,
From
I got
Canada,
something.
yeah.
Share screen.
I know it's still aluminum, I think copper, but I thought it was pretty much all minerals.
So this is the whitehouse.gov.
Oh, it's still in aluminum.
And let's see. Date it was February 11th, 2025. Now, I don't know if this is going to take place or has already taken place.
No, they said, I think it's the beginning of next month, I thought was when they said it
April
was gonna
2nd,
start.
I think.
Yeah.
I could have swore, though, I'd have to look it up.
You know, he said that if they didn't, if they started retaliatory tariffs, like if they didn't
Electricity.
Yeah, well, he said if they started their retaliatory tariffs, which meaning that we put ours or are going to put ours in, they're like, oh yeah, you're going to put yours, we're going to double these or do more on these. He said if they do that, then he'll not only do more tariffs, but he'll institute them immediately. So I think that's what it was. But as far as I know, none of them have went into effect just yet.
Let's see here. I could have swore they put put the steel and aluminum in effect.
And Tim Pool said something about a lot of the tariffs that these countries are doing. They're only doing tariffs on stuff that right-wing companies use. So it's basically like a political tariff. It's industries that are notoriously right-wing or something like that. I don't know how true that is. I'm not saying it's true, but that's what he said. But I wouldn't put it past him to do something like that.
Let's see. I found one.
Well, it's not good to. I heard. You know who Crucible Industries is?
No, I don't.
Okay, Crucible is the one that makes a lot of the new super steels and stuff for the knives, like S30V, S35VN. They make all the powder and metallurgy steels, and they're U.S. company. I heard they were going bankrupt. I don't know if it ever went through, but I heard they were going to go bankrupt, or at least part of them was going to.
I don't know how reputable the USA Today is, but this was dated March 17, 2025, and then updated March 18.
Well, they're one of the left-wing things, but...
Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One late Sunday, Trump said the 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imported into the U.S. that went into effect last week are here to stay. He added that the reciprocal and sectorial tariffs will kick in on April 2nd, which is called the Liberating Day.
Oh.
So they've already come in effect 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imported. And let's see, I'm pretty sure that he done this because he's trying to kick up what is it where they built the automotive industry was based out of where in the United States. Detroit. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not all of it, but it was known as the automotive capital of the
No,
world.
but he made a statement, you know, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure he said he wanted to move everything back to the U.S., create stuff here. So
yeah. And we need to have some redundancy because especially with semiconductors and medication. Because everything semiconductor and medication comes from China or Taiwan.
yeah.
And medication, like 90+% of medication, that's insulin and everything, comes from China. So if China just says, oh, screw you, U.S., a lot of people here would probably die. So they need to have some redundancy here for those things, and instead of relying on China anyway. You never know when somebody's going to go nuts.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't understand is they'll see these price hikes. Okay, that's only temporary. These price hikes in certain things is temporary because we're trying to be unreliant on other countries. We want to be self-efficient. We want to be the number one country in the world again. And I definitely agree with, you know, knocking out all the crazy spending, the paying other countries high tariffs, you know?
Yeah. Well, Trump made a point in one of the interviews where he was signing some stuff in. He said that it had to do with not only the tariffs, but NATO. And he's saying we're paying all these tariffs to these countries, plus we're funding NATO far more than any other country. Almost all the other countries are deficient on NATO, and we're footing pretty much all of the bill for NATO. And then we're paying tariffs to these countries. He said that's completely unfair, and that stops now.
Yes.
So it's not just the tariffs. I mean, the U.S. was paying NATO as well, and then you got people with U.S. aid funneling money to who knows where. It's crazy that this stuff took so long for them to catch it. It just shows you how deep the corruption is gone. And if it would have stayed this way for the next 4 to 8 years, the U.S. would be in such bad debt we wouldn't be able to get out of it.
You know, that Doug Ford, man, he gets me. Have you seen him talk about he's going to stand up to the U.S., stand up to Trump, and then here you go. Like, I think he increased, a tariff of 25% on the electricity for New York. There's a couple other states. Yes. He's heavier set.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the right-wing branch of the Canadians, too. So,
Excuse me.
he's supposed to be their right-wing, faction of the Canadians. And he's just the same thing as... Yeah.
He sounded more like the liberal side.
He does. He is. That's because Canada has way too many liberal and leftists. Look him up. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a right-wing prime minister or something.
Progressive Conservative
Party. So he's supposed to be conservative, but
he don't seem conservative.
He's not. Canada, they just throw somebody up there to be the scapegoat and for the Canadians to say, "Oh, I hate that guy, eh? He does this, eh?" And then they do the same thing as the last guy they just put in.
What gets me is, I hope the Canadian people, see what the United States is trying to do. Why not become the 51st state? I know you have pride, but becoming the 51st state, you will have more support from this country than your own prime ministers can give you.
Well, the Canadians that are in the know agree with that, but the Canadian, the media in Canada is just like the media in the U.S. It's been taken over by people who do not share the people's interests, and unfortunately most people still listen to it over there. So they still think that Trump is a Nazi and doing all things that he's not actually doing. And I wanted to go back to the tariff thing too for a second, because people don't understand this, and because they don't understand the economy, right? The media wants people to believe these tariffs are going to cause your prices to rise and blah, blah, blah. And yes, in the interim, they might go up. But what they fail to realize is that bringing the manufacturing and forcing these companies to bring the manufacturing back in, even if the price goes up and it goes up temporarily, it's going to make the dollar worth more. And it's going to make the dollar go farther. So while, yes, stuff may go up in price in the interim, it's going to help out the dollars. It's going to make the dollar more powerful. So instead of being worth like 10 cents on the dollar, which is what it's worth right now because of the inflation they caused in 2020, the tariffs will then make the dollar start gaining in price again, so it'll be worth like 25 cents. And, eventually it'll go back up, But it depends on how much manufacturing is here to make the dollar more powerful. But people don't think about that. The media plays on people's, focusing on right now and the gratification right now of, I want stuff cheaper right now. Well, when you work out, if you work out your muscles, you're going to have some pain to get some gain. And the tariffs are going to be the pain for the U.S. to get some gain from for the dollar to recover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And what people need to understand, just like you said, is that he's still cleaning up previous issues that left the White House. So not only
issues that he didn't get a chance to even touch last time he was in office.
Yeah.
because he was fighting with these people so much last time. He didn't realize how bad the swamp was when he went in the first time, and he paid for it. So this time, he kind of knows more who his enemies really are and how to attack them. And that's why he was going after USAID, and he's got, Elon looking into everything, because he knows the way to attack them is to take their funding out from under them. That's the way you sweep the leg. You take their funding away, and that's why they're fighting it so hard. That's why they got all their media cronies screeching about everything. Oh no, USAID, US is not going to help these other countries anymore. Oh no, and USAID hasn't helped other countries in years.
Yeah, they've been pocketing money.
No, yeah, they've been funneling it right back to the Democrats.
But,
or who knows who else.
And not only Canada, but also, Mexico. I think we were talking earlier when they signed the agreement for water, 1944. Now, I mean, it has come to an end, the agreement, and it says, let's see, I'll bring it up for y'all.
I'm just wondering why they're calling on something that's that old.
Well, it was every year. Every year.
So we've been doing this since the 40s.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been giving Mexico water during droughts and stuff, but I mean, it was explained that the U.S. is having issues supplying water for themselves. Now it's time to worry about the U.S. And once we get the U.S. straightened out, then we can start helping other countries. But until we get back on our feet, it's hard to help anyone.
Yeah, the U.S. infrastructure too is really, it needs to be, money needs to be put into it. You seen those bridges that are collapsing?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, there's a whole report on the news recently about like the bridge over the Pontchartrain and a few others that are in disrepair. And I don't remember which one it was, but there was one recently that collapsed. Because our infrastructure hasn't had money put back into it properly for years.
I believe that. Take a look at most of our highways.
Yeah.
I've been to other countries that had better highways than we do.
Oh yeah. You can't have potholes on the Autobahn.
No, not doing 200 miles an hour. No, but I'm pretty sure the Autobahn was built back in Hitler's day so he can transport troops north, south, east, and west. And just imagine how thick that concrete is.
Yeah, the Germans built these bunkers. I forgot the name of them. Some German named bunker. And they were so thick of concrete that the United Forces could not bomb them. They couldn't destroy them with bombs because the concrete was so thick.
But they also, when they make something, their concrete is more, what's the word I'm looking for? More advanced than ours. Now, yeah. I don't know if it's just we do it on purpose to continue job security or,
More reinforced.
Now, I did do a little research in Louisiana because of the swampland, the ground type. They went with, it would have cost way too much to do concrete, so they used asphalt.
Oh, okay. For the highways? We still have some concrete highways, though.
Mm-hmm.
But they have those spacers in them. That's why they make that sound. Because they have to space them so much due to the heat, because the concrete expands so far. So they have those spacers in the road to help with the expansion. That's one thing about concrete is usually it's going to crack usually, but I don't know how the Germans did it where they made these bunkers and stuff, and a lot of them haven't cracked. Either they knew where the cracks were going to be and they built around that so that the cracks formed where they wanted them to form, or they just have some technology that hasn't been used over here because
Heck,
their stuff doesn't seem to crack.
I've never known the Autobahn to be repaired unless there was a major wreck. And that's probably maybe fuel or something burning on it. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some technology as far as, the concrete that they use and how they do it that I don't know. Maybe the U.S. needs to find out how to do that.
I'm sure they know, but...
Yeah, I mean, we took their scientists. We should know.
I don't know. I think it's a money thing, you know?
Yeah, because they get the contract.
I could see, like, I-10. I-10 would be like continuous job security, if you ever noticed. That,
yeah, they're always working on
always construction on I-10. It's ridiculous. Like, you haven't finished? No. Like, at least that section.
They do the contract work, so they pick the cheapest laborers for the job. And
by the time they're finished with one section, it's time to redo it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because the work is just crap because they pick the cheapest persons to do the job, but like they should look at some reviews or something of these people before they hire them or something. But did you see that Boeing got the contract now for the?
Yep, I did see that. The F-47. Out of the 47th president.
Yeah, but that was for. But correct me if I'm wrong. I could have sworn that like Skunk Works pretty much had the contract for years.
I thought it was Lockheed Martin has created most of their plans.
Lockheed Martin and Skunk Works is the same thing. Skunk Works is the experimental division. It's the ones that build the experimental aircraft, but they're a part of Lockheed Martin.
I wonder what they thought whenever Boeing got that.
They probably thought, "Damn, we shouldn't have hired so many DEI people." The last thing they came out with was that F-35, and I haven't heard good things about that.
You know, I still notice a lot of companies still doing that DEI hiring.
Yeah, they're fighting tooth and nail still. They're trying to keep it going as much as they can.
Truthfully, I hope they all get...
most of the people there...
I hope they all get fined.
I hope so, too. But the thing with the DEI is that most of those companies hired a DEI department, right? And they actually are involved in the hiring of pretty much everybody. They have to be because they hire based on race and not, race and sex and whatever, instead of merit. So they're involved in the hiring. So who are they going to hire, right? They're not going to hire people who aren't progressive. They're going to hire people who love, to be DEI themselves. And so it once a DEI gets in, you have a DEI department, your whole company is going to be filled with nothing but DEI hires and people who are progressive in the same mentality as them, and then it ruins the company. And all those people lose their jobs and have to go find another job at the next company that they need to ruin.
Well, you have people that are uneducated too. Say you need this particular trade, and you're hiring in based on color, race, or whatnot. And now, the quality of workers that you have, not saying all of them, I'm just saying any of them. You're not say you hire in, and you only hire in because of a race or a color, or even like Caucasian. You say you don't have enough of them, and you want to hire a couple of them, but guess what? This guy is more qualified, and we're going to hire this guy that's not qualified because we need to fill those numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's petty.
I'm glad they finally said it's unconstitutional. Finally. It's only been like 10 years that this crap has been, or more, that it's been running around and ruining everything. And they have the other thing called affirmative action. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, just a different name. And if you ever looked at California's hiring laws about that, have you ever seen any of their crap?
No.
the companies over there were complaining to the government at one point because they couldn't find enough people who were gay or black or whatever the thing, that they needed to hire was. And if they didn't hire or have enough of this certain number of color staff or race staff or sex staff, they would get fined.
Yeah.
So they're like, we don't want to get fined, but we can't find enough of this demographic to hire. Like, that's ridiculous to do that to companies, And then, like, what about mom and pop places that can only hire a few people? Are you trying to force that on them too? And it's like every law in California is set up to ruin mom and pop places and only help out corporation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they done a good job at ruining mom and pop's places during COVID.
Oh. Oh, yeah. There's so many businesses that shut down over there. There's a lot of people. I knew a few people, like YouTubers, that lived there, and they're like, nope, I'm done. And they left California. And they were talking about how many, like, mom and pop places and just, small businesses shut down because of the crazy laws.
So.
He's got a podcast now, huh?
Who?
And Gavin Newsom.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the governor of Cali has a podcast.
Talking about the dude that spends more money on his hair gel?
Yep.
Coming from Mel Gibson?
I think he's doing it to try and get popularity so he can run for president. I think that's what he's doing.
Nah. Yeah. I got my own opinions.
I think that's what they're doing.
About who should get it. Who's going to fit that role right after.
Well, I'm talking about for the Democrat Party.
Oh.
I'm talking about, because they got to have somebody they want to run. They tried Harris, and it was like, you could have put a rotten tooth in place of her, and they would have probably won over her.
Well, if they pick him, I really hope they get some help, because he just literally let California go up in flames.
Oh, yeah. Yep. He completely disregarded the Constitution on almost every single front. Like, he allowed illegals to just infest the state, which is completely against the Constitution. His gun laws in that state are ridiculous. Completely against the Constitution.
I talked to a friend of mine that lives in California, and he was saying that there was like literally shit piles everywhere throughout the cities, because of the immigrants, the migrants. They were homeless, laying around. There was like trash, shit. It just stunk. That's crazy.
That's why they stopped all that water going to Mexico. They need it in California to wash off the piles of poo.
yeah.
So they can't send it to Mexico because we got poo piles that need to be washed off in California. It's going to take a bunch of water to do that.
That's funny.
Well, have you ever seen how much it costs to rent anything in California?
No.
I'd be homeless too. I'm not kidding. I couldn't afford that shit. It's like $3,000 a month for this little crap place.
A one-bedroom apartment, or even a studio, probably.
Yeah, it's a studio. It's like it's like Bender's apartment in Futurama.
A closet.
Yeah.
Oh man! Did you see the astronauts finally made it back to Earth?
Oh yeah.
After 286 days.
You was telling me that. It's like, I was like, they're about as fast as my UPS people getting my package. Not UPS, FedEx getting my package to me.
Definitely.
They're probably the same people.
See, we don't usually. The only issue I have with UPS in this location is delivering to the wrong house. Okay? So they delivered to my cousin's, and...
Wait, it's UPS and not FedEx? Because FedEx is the ones I have problems
FedEx always makes it here. And here lately, they've been on time. And UPS used to be the same way, but they fell off. Get it together,
I noticed,
UPS.
I noticed UPS has like a different driver almost every day, which is weird.
Yeah, right. They
Like,
all quit.
I'm not kidding. Yeah, it's a different driver every day. We had we had this one. It was like one or two drivers we had almost all the time, and then I don't know if they quit or they left or they moved on or retired or whatever. But after they left, it's been like a different person almost every day that drives in the driveway. I'm like, what is going on?
So, the astronauts spent 286 days in the International Space Station.
Oh,
All right. So here's some before and after pics. Okay, what space does to the body?
it gives you a helmet. It looks like
Excuse me.
got a helmet, got whiter teeth.
Look like they have aged.
Oh yeah. Well, they had to talk to only one other person for almost a year. So that's got to wear on you too.
Well, I could have swore in some of the videos there was a third person and even a fourth person up there.
It may have been their imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Or the smell. The smell took form.
So the only other person that has spent the most, okay, the longest stranded astronaut was Frank Rubio, and he spent 371 days between 2022 and 2023. And let's see.
Oh, except there's one other person that's been longer than him. And it's that monkey the Russians sent up. We still haven't seen that bastard yet. He's still up there somewhere.
Floating around space.
Yeah.
He's probably in the International Space Station there conducting studies.
Yeah, probably trying to throw poop at the Earth through that little tiny window.
So, let's see. 371 days.
Oh. I'd love to go up there and be in that zero G type of thing for a little while, but not that long.
No. No. Be like watching that movie Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane. Like, he had issues long, like, let's see. I think it said he had some issues with
Scroll down and say he felt queasy. No, there it said.
Felt queasy for a couple hours.
It could take 2 to 6 months for his body to get used to walking, standing, and bearing weight again.
Oh, you lose muscle mass. You have also being in zero gravity, symptoms similar to osteoporosis, and like in space at zero gravity, the fluids naturally want to float upwards. So.
Yeah, well, they don't. They want to form a ball, linked together, they form a round structure. Because there's nothing to pull them down, so they form a round ball.
Yeah. So get off the politics and the astronauts. You said you played the new game. What was that?
Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds? Yeah, Wilds. They named the last one too close to this one, and so I get them too confused, but no, it's Wilds. And it's pretty good. The graphics are okay. It ran okay for me. I know a lot of people were having problems with frame rate and stuff, but I mean, I'm an old school gamer, so as long as it's got over 30 frames a second, I'm usually okay. And I didn't really see much as far as the frame rate going below 30. There were a few times where it had some hiccups, but it wasn't anything like game breaking. But it's
Yeah,
got
this
some
is
new critters in it.
was made by Capcom, huh?
Yeah. And it so far it's pretty fun. The map is decently big, and all the maps are like linked, so you can just go from one to another without really having to, you know, you remember the old one, you had to like fly there and then
Oh,
if you
yeah.
want, yeah, if you wanted to hunt something, you had to go back and then do a mission and do it as a mission, then go hunt it. Well, this one you don't have to. You can stay
Just
out
go to
there.
the board.
Yeah. In this one, you don't have to do that. You can to do your missions, like your optional missions and stuff.
Yeah.
But if there's a creature on the map, you can just go over to it, and as soon as you attack the creature that you're wanting, it'll automatically do a mission for you, and you just do it.
Huh.
So it's pretty neat. So if you need parts, you just go up and attack the creature, and the quest girl will go ahead and start a quest for it. It's pretty neat. There's some things that they did better. So like you have this little creature called a secret. It's a little raptor looking thing that you ride around on. And so as you're riding around, you know how you had the little like herbs and stuff you could pick up off the ground? So you don't even have to get off of your mount. You can actually just look at them and clutch claw, and it'll grab them off the thing. And I'm talking from a long ways away, you can grab like herbs or whatever. So you can gather stuff a lot quicker. It's pretty neat. And you can gather it on the run. The only thing is like the bone piles and the mining outcrops, you do have to get off to. Well, you don't have to get off your mount, but you can't clutch claw to them. But that creature there is one of the end creatures, the one with the little dreadlocks that keeps flinging around. Oh, I was gonna say it is easier, but I fought like a elder dragon. I fought one of them on like the 5th or 6th mission, which is odd to me because in the first game, well, in Monster Hunter World, you didn't fight an elder dragon until way later in the game. You had to finish low rank to fight an elder dragon. And this one, I'm fighting an elder dragon on low rank within like 6 missions. So it is a lot easier. A lot of people are saying, no, it's not easier, just used to the game. No, it is easier. It is easier. They've streamlined it. You can change positions easier. So like in World, sometimes you're stuck in an animation and you're not at the right angle, and you'll miss a monster by just a little bit or whatever. In this one, you can hit dodge and readjust, and you'll be dead on target. So that does help out with the difficulty a bit, but that's not why it's easier. You can't clutch claw to the creatures anymore. Not that I've found. Like, you remember how you could clutch claw on them and then wound them? They don't really have that anymore. They have it where as you fight the creature, they'll develop wounds. And then you hit well, I'm playing with a controller. You'll hit the left trigger and then the right bumper, and they'll do a special attack. And if you hit one of those wounds, it'll glow so you know it's wounded. If you hit one of those wounds, you'll do a special like animation.
The wound close?
Yeah, it'll close after you hit it. It'll close, but
it'll glow. The wound.
It'll glow. Yeah.
Okay.
When it's ready to be attacked, it'll glow. And you can just keep attacking and it'll break the wound too, but you'll do more damage if you do that special like attack. You can still mount creatures, and when you mount them, you can stab them and it'll open a wound doing that. And then you can attack the wound when it's on the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
All the weapons are the same, so it doesn't have any new weapons, which I was a little disappointed. I wish they would have brought in a few new ones.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing.
I mean, there's still 14 weapons, so it's a good like variation of the different weapons, but they're all the same weapons from World, and they all perform about the same as they did in World 2. So there is some variance in that. There is some differences, but like I'm a hammer main, and the hammer is pretty much the same. I haven't tried the bow yet. I just built one. I was going to try it, but I haven't tried the bow. I tried the heavy bow gun. The heavy bow gun's a little better in some ways. And when you do the attack on the wound, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to do that. It has. I don't know. You never used the heavy bow gun in World, but in World you had like two different heavy bow guns. You had like a sniper version and then like a machine gun version. So when you hit like the B button, you could switch into the alternate fire, and you could, with the sniper, you lay down and you shoot. You try and shoot long ways through the monster, and it'll just explode all the way down it.
Yeah.
And with the machine gun, it's like a Gatling gun. You just shoot a whole bunch of rounds. Well, you can still do that, but they added some other stuff to it. So they added different attacks on top of that. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's like a little...
Is there a video of it, or is it...
I'm sure you could look up heavy bow gun and see how to use it, but there's like a third attack now that you can do. It's the one that you use on the wounds, but you can use it anytime you want. They made the ammunition pretty much like the basic ammunition, the normal ammo, the piercing, and the shotgun ammo. They're pretty much unlimited. You can use them as much as you want. And they made it where you can change out which type you want to use on the weapon. So like all of them can use the basic 3, but some of them can use like Pierce 2 or Pierce 3, but they can only use the spread 1 or normal 1. Well, you can change that out. So if you want to use spread 3, you can just change the points around to use spread 3, but it may not be as much damage because the bow gun, certain bow guns like certain ammunition types better. So, but you can change it up as you want. Oh, one of the biggest things that I like that they did, you can bring 2 weapons in the battle, so you're not limited to 1. So you hit the D-pad.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I like that addition. You hit the D-pad to the right, and your little mount will run up to you, and you'll swap weapons. So you have a primary and a secondary.
That's pretty cool.
It's really nice. It's nice because you can carry like a hammer for blunt damage, and then a sword to cut off the tails or whatever. So, and it's right there. You don't have to. You can be in the middle of battle and hit the button, and it'll come bring it to you. So I do like that. So there's things like that they streamlined and made better. But like I say, it is a bit easier, but I think that easiness will taper off as more stuff comes out for it. Because like with the last Monster Hunter, they added Master Rank and they added a whole bunch more monsters as, time went on.
You beat it?
I'm sure it'll get better. No, I haven't beat it yet. I'm still on low rank. I hurt my back and I haven't been doing. I couldn't even sit down. I had to lay down on this for a whole week.
Well,
sitting in the chair hurt.
You think compared to the older one, has better graphics?
Actually, I would say if it is better, it's not anything that's super noticeable. I would say they're very close. I think it's better graphics than that one the last one they brought out, Rise. But Rise was made for the Nintendo Switch. Because it came out, I believe, on the Switch first. So it's not going to have as good a graphics. But so I would say it's about the same. If it is better, it's a little bit. It's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
There's little tweaks here and there.
What do you think's affecting the computers then? Like the amount of movement?
I think it's particles. Because there's a lot of particle stuff in it. And like particle effects from the creatures and from all the stuff around. And I think it's because too that in the old one you had this one set area like the forest, right, that you go into, and it had a few little creatures on the map. Well, in this one you have access to almost the entire map, and if you look at it, there is creatures everywhere and they're all like moving. So I'm thinking that it's taking a lot of computing power to remember the positions of all those creatures and all that, and because the creatures will hunt other creatures while you're not even there. And so that takes a lot of overhead to do all that. So I think it has something to do with that as well.
Yeah.
Like some of the creatures will even like stampede. Like they'll be being attacked by something and they'll just stampede. There'll be a whole huge stampede of creatures go by you. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I think you'd like it because there's one that's a monkey, and he holds like a mushroom in his tail, and he'll pick different mushrooms, and depending on the mushroom he'll pick, he'll shoot out different like things. Like he does this stink attack, or he'll bite one mushroom and he'll do like a blast attack, or he'll do a poison attack.
Fling poo attack.
He does do that as well, yes. He actually has an attack where he bends over and he farts on you.
Yeah.
And it's a huge gas attack. So they have armor. His armor set is like gas resistance. It's kind of retarded, but it's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Oh,
so I think you'd like it. That creature. It's funny because he looks almost exactly like the Dragon Ball Z. The
when he changes with the moon.
Saiyan. Yeah, Saiyan. It looks like the Saiyan that when he's insane. Which they already had one like that. They had the in Monster Hunter World they had one. I can't remember the name of it. But he was almost exactly like that because he turned gold. I forgot the name of that monster. Shoot. It was a monkey that would turn gold. He was hard. He was the one I was stuck on World. But they got a bunch of like monkey-looking monsters too, and like bear-looking monsters. So there's a lot more like mammalian-looking monsters in this one. At least so far. There's one that looks like a mosquito.
Rajang,
that's it. Rajang. That's from Monster Hunter World. The one in the new one has like pink fur.
The
I forgot
Rise.
his name. On no Wilds.
Let's see.
I know it if I hear it, but I can't think of his name.
Trying to see
But
if
it's
I
got
see
like
pictures.
pink looking fur.
Guess not. Let's see.
I like the way the monsters are and the reactions and stuff that you get from them.
Well, let's put this on.
As far as the difficulty though, I that can be tweaked, and I think when they come out with the master rank, it's going to be a lot harder. Yeah, that's the Rajang. He's got horns, but he's almost basically the Dragon Ball Z freaking monkey, because there's one called a Furious Rajang, and he's glowing yellow.
Gold.
Yeah, he's gold. It's called a Furious. Well, that Rajang, the regular one, will go into the rage mode too, but the Furious Rajang is like stays in that mode. Yeah, he's in Rise too. Yeah. A lot of the creatures are the same throughout the Monster Hunter series. They've just carried them through. But he's
got his twigs and twigs
no,
there.
No, that's his tail.
No.
Yeah, it could be. It could be the horniest Rajang in the world.
Well, here's one.
There's one right next to it. Look at the next picture to the left of that one. No. Go. Keep going right. Yeah, to there. Right that one. That's the Furious Rajang. He's got like a golden mane that goes down his back. But it's pretty fun. I don't know how the co-op works in it. Like, I hope they fixed where you couldn't join somebody until they saw all the dang cutscenes. But I don't know. I haven't played with anyone else yet, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I seen it had dropped in price for a little while, and then now it's back to $69.99.
A lot of games did. I don't know if I guess. Well, Steam had a spring sale, so I don't know if they put it pretty much everything on sale or not.
Yeah.
I saw that What's that game that just came out? Avowed went on sale. It went on sale for like 30 some bucks. They actually didn't Avowed they give for free on the PlayStation Network or something?
I'm not sure.
It was either Avowed or that other game, Dragon Age. One of those two went free on PS for PS Gold. But Avowed, did you saw the cover art for Avowed?
I don't think so.
Look up the cover art for it and tell me what you think of it. What's your immediate thoughts of it when you see it?
What's it?
The name?
Avowed?
Avowed, yeah. Avowed. All right, what's your initial thoughts of it?
Trying to bring it back to where it shows it.
Man, so many people were looking forward to that game because it was Oblivion was making it. Everybody loves Oblivion because of New Vegas, and I'm like, New Vegas was alright. I like Fallout 3 better than New Vegas. And a lot of people are like, how could you like that better? But I just did. Just didn't find New Vegas' story all that compelling. I still 100% New Vegas.
So,
like, I did everything.
Talking about this?
Yeah, that skeleton-looking thing, what's that look like? Yeah, make it bigger. The one up top, yeah, there you go.
I don't know if it'll make it bigger.
Make it bigger. Hurry. That's doing everything but making it bigger.
I don't know.
Why is it not making it bigger?
See if I can zoom. Is it like a city inside this?
Yeah, but what are your first thoughts of that image itself? What does it look like to you? Here, I'll narrow it down for you. Does it look like it was hand-drawn?
Possibly.
Well, to me, it looks like it's 100% AI made to me.
You think?
Yeah. I'm 98% sure that that's an AI art image. It doesn't look good to me. Like, it doesn't look like a game I would want to play. You know what I'm saying? Just from the art image, it's not that, like, it tells you nothing about the game. It's just like a skeleton, like a dude holding a sword with growth on him. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to get from this image that makes me want to buy this game. You know? It doesn't tell me anything about the game, like the world, nothing. It's a blank white, like, background with some weird looking growth dude on it holding a sword. I don't know what I'm supposed to think about that, you know? That's why I think it's AI.
I know you were talking about games that were on sale. They had Bravely Default 2. You ever played that?
No.
That was on sale.
Did you ever play it?
It's in my wish list.
I was gonna get it for the Nintendo 3DS because they had it. They had Bravely It Default and Bravely Second. I think is this the second one of it. It's another Bravely one. Let's see.
I'm looking forward
They don't
to
have it on Steam.
Borderlands 4.
I know you keep telling me this. Have
You.
you heard anything more about it?
Yeah, well, the planned release date September 23rd.
Have they said anything about story? What's going to be in it? Nothing like that. Just bajillion more weapons. This looks like Final Fantasy, basically, or it looks like Octopath Traveler. That's what it reminds me of. I didn't play that one either, but the art and stuff looks similar to it. I'm trying to figure out what that other game was. There's another Bravely game. I think it's called Bravely Second. Yeah, that's what it's called. Bravely Second. I almost bought it and Bravely Default for the 3DS.
It says billions of wild and deadly weapons.
What do they say every time? Bajillions. They need to take my advice about them characters, though, and make it where you can do the fusion ha. Fusion ha! Then join together.
No. So, that's the only game you've been playing? The
Pretty
Wilds?
Monster Hunter Wilds, and let me see, I do have that Black Myth Wukong game, but I haven't played much in. I need to get back in them. There was another game I was looking at. Have you seen that game, how was it called? It's a 4-letter word.
I've been waiting to, get
Repo.
been waiting to get the guy from Blizzard to come on the show. That'll be good.
You still working for Blizzard?
Yeah. Still working. Over there in California.
Oh, the game is called Repo. That game is nuts. It is hilarious, dude. You remember the game Lethal Company? Okay, Lethal Company was like a cultural phenomenon. Like everyone was playing this game because it was so funny. It was like a multiplayer horror game.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of the game was you were commissioned to go to a planet and just find stuff and bring it back and sell it because you owed money or something, or you worked for the company and you're supposed to do that for the company. So each time you had like so many days to find enough stuff to bring back to sell so that you had enough money to pay the bill. And each time you paid the bill, the bill would go up. So you try to see how far you could get. Well, it's similar to that, but it is hilarious. Like, whoever made this game has a good sense of humor. You gotta watch some videos of people playing. It's so funny.
Do you have a picture of it?
The only picture, like, on Steam is retarded looking. It's like a smiley face with weird teeth and stuff.
I think I've seen that.
Oh, play the video on Steam if you have it up still.
I don't have Steam open on, let's see. What's the name of this?
I watched Markiplier play. Repo, R-E-P-O. It's got weird looking smiley face on. Oh, you saw the new Assassin's Creed came out?
No.
Oh, it's in Japan. It's a, it's been all over the place, man. People love it
Excuse me.
because it's got this girl. You play as a girl, and you play as a black samurai named Yasuke, and you get to desecrate like sacred places in Japan. Like one of the things they were saying, the Japanese government is not happy about this game. And the main reason is because they've already had problems with tourists like graffitiing holy places and stuff. And one of the things you could do, I don't know if they took it out of the game yet or not, you could climb on one of those torii gates. And you're not supposed to do that. Uh-oh.
This should be it, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, guys. Oh, run for your life!
When you talk, your mouth
careful,
opens
be
like a
careful.
Canadian.
Look at us, we're so professional. Okay, guys, I have a plan. No! Stop! No, Michael, don't get involved in this. Give it to me.
That when you see the small guys, that's when you crouch. You turn like real small.
No! Oh, it's evil! His lights are...
It's pretty funny. I watched Markiplier play it. It's so freaking funny. Basically, you're like a repo man going into these places and trying to find valuables to take back to repossess. And they got all kinds of like, they got some like people, but they're freaky looking. And there's this one dude who has just like a shotgun, and he busts in the room and just blah blah blah. Funny,
Yeah,
man.
I have to check it out.
They got a whole bunch of those kind of games, those Lethal Company type games. But I brought up Assassin's Creed, the new one,
Yeah.
because it is hilarious. I was watching, I think, Asmongold playing it, and the big samurai guy you play as, he can kick the other people, and I'm talking about he kicks them and they go flying like a football field away. It is so funny looking. Like this huge enemy will run up to you with a giant bat and be hitting at you, and the Yasuke will just kick him and he'll just go flying like he doesn't weigh anything. It's hilarious looking. I wonder if they got a video of the kick. It is, I mean, it is so damn funny. It's like he Falcon punched somebody out of existence, but with a kick. See if I can find it. Alright, I hate shorts so much. I hate YouTube shorts. God, I hate it.
Yeah, they're so short.
You can't, like, stop
All
them and
of
rewind them or nothing.
30 seconds.
Oh, he's got gay love interests in the game, too. Because that's important while you're killing people in Japan.
You got to throw it in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to find a video of just the kick, but it's a stupid YouTube short, and I don't know how to... See if I can share this without sharing everything.
If you share tab.
There you go. Is that good? You see it?
Yeah.
All right, watch this kick. Watch closely. You'll miss it.
I will crush you too.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. You saw how far he kicked the dude?
Somebody just shit their pants watching this.
Probably.
No.
Look, you like kicks him like a football field away. And you could do that with like these big dudes too.
You too.
He just kicks and they just go flying through. And then he can run. You can run and like barrel through doors like that. But he can also do it to these gigantic doors on like a castle wall. Like he just runs into them and they're like a foot thick of wood. He just runs through them like they're nothing. I'm like, yeah, that's really. It looks realistic. You know, if they hadn't tried to, you know,
I will crush you too.
play the,
And this is Assassin's Creed?
yeah, that's the new one.
Yeah.
But the game actually looks pretty fun. I watched Asmon playing some of it, and I'm like, if they wouldn't have played the whole race card and done all this, because they got in trouble for trying to paint Yasuke as a real person, as a real samurai, right? And granted, there is some evidence that there was a black guy in Japan a long time ago, but it was never said he was a samurai. Like, it was just like he visited. And also, the Japanese were very seclusionary. They wouldn't teach an outsider how to use a sword. They wouldn't teach anyone how to use their techniques.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Kung Fu. When Bruce Lee was teaching Kung Fu to Americans, they didn't want him teaching it to Americans. They're the same way. And it just, when they put this guy in there and they tried to make a Wikipedia page to prove that he existed and was a samurai, the guy who made this game or was a part of it, it's like, don't do that. You know, it's a fictional game. Just say this is a story of somebody who washed on shore or whatever. You know, it didn't have to be that way. But I don't know what they were thinking. Like, it's weird because it's a decent looking game and it plays good and the story's okay for so far.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot to do in it. You get all kinds of different swords and
What,
different
you've been
weapons. You can use a gun.
playing the new one?
No. I watched somebody play it.
No.
But it's just like, why did you have to go that route? Why couldn't you just do a Japanese man doing it instead of have this big black guy doing it? That people are going to question, like, why is there a black guy in Japan killing Japanese people? You know, it just seems kind of racist to do that, but I don't know. It ain't me that spent $300 million making the game.
Yeah. Well, some people may like it, some people may not. But anyway, if you don't have anything further, we can go ahead and come to a close.
Not really. Just did you? I was going to tell you about the. You saw the Tesla stuff going on.
Oh, about the hate paint,
Yeah,
painting
but
all the stuff.
did you see they had a website too?
Mm-mm.
They had a website that doxed people who had Teslas, and had the addresses of the dealerships. And when you hovered over the different things with your mouse on the website, it turns into a Molotov cocktail.
That's retarded.
Yeah, the website's been taken down because it also had, from what Tim Pool said, it had Kash Patel's address in there as well.
See, that's retarded. Why?
Why would you put the director of the FBI's home address in there, you morons? Like, you're just asking to get put in prison.
How about this one? You're on the left side. You believe strictly in What? Oh, global warming?
Uh-huh.
But you're going to defile Tesla electric vehicles that's trying to do better for the planet, also do better for the country because he's finding wasteful spending that the Democratic Party has just wasted. I mean, you have to do your research, people. Look into it because they drop money. What they do is they create these fake research, names because they need to make it legal to send money or put it in circulation to like offshore accounts and then back to their pockets.
Yeah,
So-
they'll have a few degrees of separation so it doesn't look like them.
Yeah.
But it's all politically motivated, all the attacks. But the people who own Teslas, for the most part, are leftists. They're attacking their own people.
Yeah.
And like,
And
why
not all
attack?
of them are, but
No,
majority
no,
of them.
I didn't say they all. I said a lot of them were though.
Yeah.
A lot of the places where Tesla dealers are at are like in California, where it's like the green states and stuff, states that want to do the green thing. But it just shows how much these people are just so whipped up by political stuff. And it's like, politics is not your life, people. Left, right, doesn't matter. It shouldn't be your life. Politics shouldn't be your life.
Yeah, I could tell you if a politician can persuade your your motives that easily, then good luck in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you doing this because it's for you, or are you doing it because
You
have
heard
been pushed
Joe
to do
Bob tell you.
yeah, you heard someone else do it, Are you really doing it for yourself? No, but the thing is, they don't think it's for themselves. They think they're doing something for the greater good because we're attacking this Nazi because they've been called Nazis, forever. It's sad to see that you got somebody who's trying to do what's right with the electric cars and everything. But hey, right now is a good time to buy Tesla stock.
Yeah. I can
Stock
go
did
ahead
go
and
down.
I can go ahead and tell you, if you're a leftist and you hate Tesla because it was a Nazi thing or some sort of BS, I hope you don't own a Volkswagen. Do your research on that one and then let me know.
They don't actually care about that. A lot of them used to own Volkswagens because Volkswagens had diesel engines and they got better miles per gallon. So they were actually more green than a lot of other vehicles.
That's
There's
another
a- there's
thing
a
I don't
lot of
understand in our country is that you can go to a European country or another country and they have the same type of vehicle with a different motor that gets 50 miles to the gallon, and we're still sitting in a struggle to get 20.
Yep. Yeah, there's a vehicle that gets 200 miles to the gallon in Europe, and they won't bring it over here. And it's not because it doesn't pass the crash tests, it's because it doesn't pass emissions because it doesn't have a catalytic converter. 200 miles a gallon. It's crazy. But I'm sure it doesn't pass much things on the freeway. I bet you it doesn't have much power to pass things on a freeway. But if you want to go somewhere and not pay, out the butt for gas, then, be a good cross-country vehicle.
No.
Well, I just want to bring that up because it's these people are nuts, man. You're gonna dox people. What about the people who are? Think about this. What about the people who are doxed and a leftist shows up at somebody's house and gets blasted because they went to their house to do something? Are you really gonna do stuff like that? That's like it boggles my mind that people are that far gone that they would do stuff like that. Like when you have real problems, you're gonna do stuff like that. We got real problems, and this is like first world problem stuff. make any sense.
Well, tell you what, they need to wake up. A lot of people need to wake up. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and come to a close, and look for us next time. I'm sure DuhZeez will be down the road on the show. If y'all have any suggestions for the show, like you want to hear something different, hear specifics, you know, not out of this world crazy, but if you're looking for a certain topic and I can find you know, an individual in another state, same state, that's wanting to come on the show that you want to hear about, drop a comment in the any one of the videos. I'll see it. But until next time, thanks for BSing with Y Eagle Y.